Man of Steel, impervious to bullets, able to survive in the vacuum of space, capable of taking damn near anything you can throw at him, but almost completely worthless when in the presence of a small green rock. Alright, we all know a little bit about Superman, and you probably already know he's weak to kryptonite. I mean, kryptonite is literally the modern Achilles heel and a synonym for weakness after all. But do you actually know anything about kryptonite? Well, that's why I'm here, to educate you on things that certainly won't help your education. I'm Jocelyn the intern. I do all the research nobody else wants to, straight from the desk of Death Battle. So, kryptonite is basically radioactive ore from Superman's homeworld, Krypton, jettisoned into space when the planet exploded. Much to Superman's dismay, a ton of this stuff made its way to Earth, making our once invulnerable hero a little bit more mortal. Despite what you would assume, kryptonite didn't actually originate in the comic series. It was first mentioned back in 1943 during the Adventures of Superman radio show. In fact, the appearance, or should I say listening, of kryptonite was in part because the actor who played Superman wanted a vacation. I mean, don't we all? Stupid whiz and boomstick making me work so many hours. Anyway, see, back then the shows had to be done live, and you obviously couldn't get away with randomly replacing the voice of radio's biggest hero. But thanks to a giant kryptonite meteor, the show was able to have a stand-in for Superman, since all he needed to do for a few episodes was groan in pain. And this let the actor who played Superman take his much-needed vacation. It wasn't until 1949 that kryptonite finally made its way onto the comic pages in Superman number 61. Now that we got the quick history lesson out of the way, it's time to introduce you to all the ridiculous types of kryptonite out there. Oh yeah, it doesn't just come in green. There's a goddamn rainbow of kryptonite. We're talking red, blue, gold, white, you name it. And let me tell you, some of these colorful crystals have some pretty strange effects on the Man of Steel. Let's start with red-green kryptonite. Not yellow, red-green. This one is actually an alloy created by a villain. When our dear old hero first came into contact with it, he grew a third eye in the back of his head. Yeah, a third eye, just because, I don't know. Superman may be able to hide his identity with an outfit change and a pair of glasses, but people are going to start asking questions when he starts walking about town with an eye patch on the back of his head. Ooh, oh, this next one's a good one. Silver kryptonite, which screws up a Kryptonian's perceptions, makes them lazy and gives them extreme hunger cravings. Which, if you ask me, sounds a lot more like the kryptonite you would buy from a guy named Carl over on 420 Blazeit Street. Weed. We're talking about weed. Then there's black kryptonite, which actually splits a Kryptonian into two beings. One good, one evil. Which cannot be a comfortable process for either party. If you're a pet lover, then orange will be your kryptonite flavor of choice, as it gives any ordinary animal superpowers for 24 hours. I have a hunch this is exactly how all those chickens in Zelda got to be such ruthless killers. Now, all of these fancy space stones have some pretty strange effects, but the most insane one has to be pink kryptonite, which, I shit you not, turns a Kryptonian gay. Yep, this is a frickin' space rock that makes players change teams, if you know what I mean. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but aside from fueling some heated fanfiction, why does it exist exactly? To be fair, this does come from an issue of Supergirl that was somewhat of a satire of the old Silver Age comics, but surprisingly, it's still considered canon despite sort of being a joke. So until DC says otherwise, I'll be patiently waiting for its disorientating orientation to return. Bonus fact: the creator of Superman, Jerry Siegel, wrote a story in 1940 called The K-Metal from Krypton. The story featured a mineral from Krypton that drained Superman of his powers, but also empowered humans. However, it was never published. Boo.